Hello, you YouTube frogs. Today we're going to be breaking down Cubert Academy versus Ambrosia. And I really wanted to highlight what Ambrosia was doing on this map because honestly, the fact that they didn't close out this map is insane to me. Now, I understand that Pearl is very attacker-sided, but I really do think that Ambrosia had the better ideas here. Do they have the better comp? That's up for debate, but um, their ideas were really good. And we're going to show this off in about 4 to 5 rounds. I haven't really decided yet. We're just kind of going off the dome here. First round I wanted to talk about um, is round one, and we'll see that this round play out. We're going to see a little bit of mid control, 1-3-1 out of Ambrosia and the side of Sentinel's Cubert Academy. So, what we're going to see here, we're going to see how the dry run syndrome works. Dry run syndrome, if you don't already know, is when you plan things without thinking about what the enemy comp can do. It's very common. It's very hard to think about what you're doing and then what the enemy team is doing when you have to, especially as an IGL, when you have to think about all these different variables. I completely understand it. But we do have to be thinking about these things. Normally, when you're playing Jet or something traditional on this map, they're obviously going to make an audio cue, which is going to make it a lot easier for Breach to stun. Taeho, this trap play would be very good, except we're forgetting we're playing against Yoru, and we're going to see exactly what happens here. Yoru TP is going to come out, obviously, is going to be noiseless, which completely defeats the point of the setup. Breach is going to stun here, but it's going to completely miss because, well, Yoru can TP. Now Taeho is dead because he's Fade blinded, he's getting jumped by Flash Teleport, and it's just not a good day for Nismo. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that, but basically, if I had to sum up this round, trades are going to come in like, on the side of Ambrosia, of course, because of the bid control that they lost. And 3v1 with the Sheriff. Good luck, bro. Unlucky. There are a lot of rounds that I want to highlight here, but a lot of it is just them playing POSTPLANT with Taeho Astra, or a variation of that. So there's not many things that I can break down, but I want to break down before the POSTPLANTs, because I think that's the most interesting part. We're actually going to move on here to round 3, because we're actually going to see the same problem that we saw before. It's literally a one-to-one replication of the previous round. And Yor's going to throw in his TP, his flash, he's going to come in here onto mid, and T-Dog's not going to have a fun time. Now they have no more mid control, and you're going to see that as this round plays out. They're kind of forced to back up. They have full mid link control, right? And what ends up happening is they're kind of split into this 2-0-2 setup where they're all going to be playing CT with their tail stuck behind their legs. As you see right here, there's kind of nothing they can really do. They don't have any control over mid. They kind of just have to play back, very reserved. Ideally, in my opinion, I think we should be playing a 3-0-1 setup here, taking the gamble that they could go to one site because we know they have to go to one of the sites. Gambling that they're going to go to one of them is better than setting up the 2-2 where we don't really have a chance no matter which site they go to. In a scenario where we have 3-0-1, it's a lot more likely that we're going to be able to defend it. But in the positions that we have now, it's not looking too good. So we're going to see some information come out from A. Is it a fake? I don't know. They're going to start seeing some util come down, so they're actually going to start rotating instead. Rotates are going to come through. Right, rotate should be coming through. We're still on B. I don't know, Cubert. They might still go B. Bombs down. And this is just where we get into post-plant bullshit. This is what all of the rounds looked like. Astra, Taeho, from both sides, suck, guided missiles, I'm gonna blow my brains out, it's the worst shit ever, this is the worst meta, I lied on Twitter saying this is the best meta ever. No, we have to deal with this bullshit for the rest of our goddamn lives. Thank you guided missiles, thank you Riot, thank you for Taeho. This game sucks. This round looked winnable, they actually got their trades back, but This is what happened literally all game. This is not the part that I want to break down. Obviously, Pearl's gonna be Pearl. It's gonna be dumb. Whatever. We're not thinking about that. We're thinking about what's leading up to this that we're doing wrong, and we're gonna see that again in round 7. If I can get us to round 7, please get me to round 7. Please. Let's go. So again, our mid control is lacking. My Teho is jerking off. My Astra's jerking off. They're trying to do something. He's jump peeking mid link. My Teho is trying to get some A main control, even though we have full B long control. We should just be playing reserved on A. We also have the criminally Vise is should be playing by herself, and she's not. Should have 3 mid. What we should have is Vi sits on A by herself. We have 3 mid holding control in a better way, and Jet has fully B long control. This is the ideal way that you would run this setup, right? Where Teho and Breach can assist anyone at a moment's notice. Astra is still going to be here over towards B, but we at least have some semblance of mid control. Why do we need mid control? Because we have Visol. The best way to take a the best way to retake on this map is having control of at least 2 points, especially on this part. You need mid link control, you need heaven or CT control, you need a way to get out, okay? If you don't have this, first of all, Visol is going to be way weaker from CT. You're not going to be able to actually get onto the site easily, and any stalling that from this one choke is going to be doubly effective because all of these players are going to be in here. We're not going to be able to clear out the site. We're not going to be able to push out to long, and we're just going to get stalled on time. You have to be able to go out quickly, and if you're all stuck behind one molly because you're all in the same position, you're going to have a serious problem. This is exactly what we see play out here on B. Yoro's going to completely clear out the site by himself because Yoro's balanced. Please nerf this stupid fuck. He has way too much utility for one duelist. Anyways, we're going to see the side execute come out from Ambrosia. And like I just talked about, the rotates are going to come in very slow. Players are going to get a little bit overzealous. They're going to go into a 4v4 situation. We have no mid control, so these players are going to be pinched. Even if Faye doesn't get that player, Aster probably will. And now we don't have any mid control. It's going to be very hard to get out onto the site. Look at these guys. We're waiting for Vise, but we're kind of stuck here. Honestly, Redux probably should jump into halls off of this breach flash, or off this breach stun. Vi's ult's gonna come down. We shouldn't be Teho ulting. This was one of the big things that I was talking about earlier. We are wasting our ultimates. We probably should be ulting like this so that we can flush players out of long, so that we can actually play for mid, so we can actually fight them, right? Instead of them just playing the attack positions. So we're wasting an ultimate here. Vi's ult's gonna come out. Breach stun's gonna come out, which I understand why the breach came out, but honestly, we should just be delaying the breach stun. We should have somebody, ideally Jet, come into here, fight with the breach stun, push into halls, save the tail ult for long, and then we can play like that. Instead, we double ult here, which I don't, I like kind of understand it. I understand that we want to clear site, but with how little resistance we showed, and how slowly we got onto B, the likelihood that a player is going to be playing on site rather than long is very low. The only time you're going to see people playing on site is when there's a lot of resistance from the defense side in terms of how they're defending B. If all of these players are rotating in, it's very likely that the bomb's just going to go down for free and they're all going to be able to run back. It's very unlikely that these players are going to not play the win condition of just playing the post plant, and they're just going to be playing on site. So I don't think wasting both of these ultimates here was really anything of value. Astra's of course going to flank. We're in this situation where we have very little utility. This blind's not going to be able to do anything. Breach, of course, has his drill, but it's not going to actually catch Screwface here. We don't really have any utility to flush out these players, and it's just going to be a real big nightmare for Keyword Academy. Because, again, I know we talked about how broken POSTPLANT is, but it's not unstoppable. There are ways, if we go a little bit faster, we use our utility correctly, we have better ways to combo our utility. Obviously, you're going to have less problems. You're going to be able to get to the spike sooner, but even if they got to they killed all those players long, they don't have enough time to even defuse the bombs. So we're just going to see that problem rise with this Astra suck that we just saw. And then Astra's going to come in with the flank, rounds over. It's just, there are better ways to, one, hold mid control. There's better ways to retake. We need to be a lot faster. We need to use our utility a little bit better. Um, coordinate on delayed timings. There was just a lot of things wrong with the way that both of these teams were playing defense side, but I think this needed to be highlighted a lot more because to be honest with you, I think Ambrosia had really good ideas of how to actually defend the site. And we'll see that in, I believe it's this round. No, this is not the round I was talking about. Ambrosia actually have very good ideas of how they want to defend. And we see this in this rounds. I like this setup a lot more. What we're going to see here is there's 0-1-4. There's a Vise wall here, which is going to stop anyone from pushing B. They have Vise watching mid link. They have Fade here, who can still help her team through this window gap that's right here. And then we have 3 players on A. Yor has his operator. He's going to be able to push up into main. Teo's going to get his orb. This is a perfect round from Ambrosia. They have full control, pretty much. Um, they have A-long control. He's gonna take that shot. Vise is gonna obviously communicate to her team, hey, they have an op A-long, let's go B. That's what they end up doing. They see that the Vise wall is gonna be there, so which delays their push. They're not gonna be able to move as fast. Unfortunately, what ends up happening is it's not really mistakes from Ambrosia, in my opinion. It's more that Cubert Academy just got lucky in the sense that these picks were just very good from the side of the attack. Redux obviously dry swinging an op is not going to happen every time. He's going to pop this wall. We're going to wait for the wall to go down. They're going to look to re-hit. Drill's going to come out. Stun's going to come out. Screwface peeks for no reason. The wall's going to come out. Jet's going to push in. Flash doesn't connect. Jet's going to die. They're in a 4v3 for the attack side favored. Their setup was really good, but there was just some individual mistakes. There wasn't anything macro. The micro was just a little off. Okay, we didn't really... They even get this read here. They're going to know that they're coming A. Obviously, they can't be 100% sure, so Vi's going to have to stay. But, again, they're aware of this. All good things from Ambrosia. They just made a few little bit of individual mistakes. But this is kind of how you'd want to set up your defense, right? This I think was a lot better. We can actually see a defense that I really liked, where we actually show some sense of mid control here on round 13. We're actually going to see what I really like to see from now. Ideally, we have a Vise wall here, in my opinion. I think having this like safety net where we know that they're not going to be long, and York can capitalize off of it, off the Razor Vine, whatever. Having that flash here, and then maybe having Vice Link instead, then Art. Otherwise, I think this is really sound, and you're actually going to see it play out. Having mid control like this instead, especially on a pistol round where mid control is really important because this is the ideal range for most of your guns where you're not, but you're still able to attack A. Usually you're going to attack A in a pistol round just because of the way the guns work and then how you're going to be able to play post plant. We're going to see the collapse here from Ambrosia, and I'm really going to like this. I really like the way Ambrosia played defense. It's really hard to play defense against, well, this post plant meta. These guys are going to get crunched on. They don't really know where Yoru is gone, and they're going to get crunched on by 3. Kills are going to come out. Ambrosia played this very well. They're going to 3v1. Again, they win both pistols. They win the bonus. They win both pistols, both forces. They win 1 bonus. The fact that they couldn't close out this map is insane to me. But as we all know, the attack side on Pearl is just insane. And the post plants that I've been showing you are just a great summary of how this game went. And there's not really much else to say. I think the things that lead up to the post plant and the things that lead up to the retake are really important, and the way that you're developing your defense can swing some rounds in your favor, but I just didn't see any of that from Cubert Academy, to be honest with you. And I think if they level up their defense side, I would look much more confident. I'd be much more confident in them. I was actually like rooting for Ambrosia here because like whatever, because they actually had sound defenses. They had really good ideas. That's not to say Qbert Academy didn't have good ideas, but I don't think that they were playing off of the enemy team. They were more just thinking about what we're doing, um, rather than thinking about what the Yoru could do, which is a big difference, especially on a lot of those attack rounds. So basically, that's all I pretty much had to say. I think this match was really interesting. It was a lot of fun to watch. The attack rounds are going to be really boring though, so get used to Teo, Astra. This is probably going to be the meta, unfortunately. I don't know about Vise. I'm not too sure. I think the ultimates are really good at stalling, which allows, of course, allows for that post plant to come in. But I don't like the idea of getting like stalled out. I think Cypher's still better. Maybe I'm just a Cypher fanboy, whatever. I think his ability to re-clear space is just a little bit better, and I don't really think the traps were that much. I think you're just playing Vise for her ultimate, but anyways, that's not up to me. Play whatever comp you want. I'm just saying it, what I think about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit longer. I'm sorry, but I just really had to get this out of the way because some of the things that I was seeing on the defense side, obviously this is a post-plant map, but we gotta set up. Our defense is better. Please, thank you. Have a good day. Bye.